Well, hello guys, welcome back. Didn't go the day the night before, which kind of fitting considering who I'm doing. I am indeed redoing Papa Legba's video, and I'm sorry if you didn't get a chance to see the first video, but I'm going to try to take a different tact here. Other than Baron Samdi and Papa Ogu, Papa Legba is one of the most long-suffering Loa that I have ever worked with because I was doing everything wrong. And for Papa Legba, he had infinite patience, so he can have an infinite patience side with him. Though I can't teach stupid is a remark you may hear, or maybe you ain't too dumb. It's also something you're going to hear. He has not much for flattery. He's kind of, in a way, your boot camp, because especially with Wiccans, and I think he takes a special delight in approaching people from Western culture. You're going to have to learn to give all of your control and all of your supposed mastery of magic and drawing circles or casting quarters or whatever it is you do. You're going to have to learn to hand all that over to this grumpy old man who is just glaring at you and wants to know where the hell his payment is, because when you first work with him, he is a bit of a hard ass. I love him up, down, and sideways. But he is a bit rough and he expects you to get with the program. I think sometimes he either genuinely forgets or doesn't really care, like he's not dealing with somebody that's used to his culture, so you have no idea what's going on. And this grumpy old man wants to know where the hell his payment is and why don't you have anything for him. He was downright mean when we started working together, and there's no other word for it. He was mean, and Baron was. I will not use that kind of language in Papa Legba's presence, but he was nasty. And, they both admitted that. We had the worst working relationship. I think part of it was that had I started off with books and worked for a couple years in private and built a relationship up off the ground, yeah, I would have been totally wrong considering the book I was working with, but I would have had the relationship there. It's very hard to work Wudon. And, a decade ago, we didn't have the resources you have today. Today, you have like 80 billion videos on Papa Legba, and everybody knows the shit about Papa Legba. And never gonna scream again, anyhow. And everybody knows everything about Papa Legba. That was not the case a decade ago. You had to count on 3 or 4 Mambos that were online, or 3 or 4 Ugons that were online. And Mambo A would tell you Mambo B was going to put a curse on you and kill you. Mambo C would say they were both evil and wicked and you got to come over. It was a lot of fun. And Legba can definitely help you navigate. And if you want to find a good house, he would be a great one to say, I'm loving working with you, but I need structure. If you want structure, he will lead you to structure. So be very careful what you ask Papa Legba for. I said in the original video, be careful what you pray to him for. Be very fucking careful, because the stupider your request was, the more likely Legba is to answer. That said, he is a real sweetheart, and there are things that he just loves. The more absurd it is in general, he loves it. He can be very kind. And once he gets to know you and he's done kicking your ass and putting you through boot camp, he's a lot easier to work with. There you go, swearing again. I try to show Papa Legba respect, and he knows it, I do, but this is who I am now, not just getting like, what? Whatever. Doorways, crossroads, keys, various colors. You're going to see various colors. Whatever makes him happy, you use. There are hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions, if not billions of Legbas. Every Legba is considered distinct. It's not like some people will say all Ugus are Ogu, which kind of true, kind of not. They're all distinct. So this Legba might tell you one thing, and another Legba might tell you something totally different, and is not uncommon with their family. As with the Baron family, one Legba will show up and I won't even know there's a difference, because they like to copy each other, take the offering, walk away, and then the main Legba that you usually walk with shows up and goes, "Where the hell's my offering, woman?" But you were just terrified. That said, it might all be Legba. Might all be Legba, because he is a trickster. He will play tricks on you. He will hustle you. He will hustle you for stuff, and you gotta get used to this. He's kind of like a sharp there. He's gonna hustle all the rubes and get all their stuff from them. And it's usually good natured. He'll get candles off of me and stuff like that, candy, Do not take Papa Legba shopping without the explanation that jail time is nothing you want to experience and you only have X amount of money in your pocket. He's not going to encourage you to steal or anything, but there's a story of somebody once went shopping with him and they have been doing things they shouldn't have, like letting Papa Legba try to take possession, which you should not do outside of a house without supervision. I think they came home with 15 pounds of those cinnamon hearts, and they wanted to know where the hell the money came from. I don't know, but apparently they had the money. There was no money left in their wallet, so I'm assuming that was where it came from. So yeah, you have to watch out. He is clever, and he will work things to Papa Legba's advantage. He definitely loves the ladies. If you're female, he coming to see you. Um, Loves the marriage law, even if you're not married. He will happily let you cook for him. He, he will happily let you cook for him. He loves yams. If you can cook halfway decent yams, he loves them. I used to cook him yams. I had this little girl bucket, you know, those red ones, and you put the girl on top. He loves yams cooked in the coals. I had read it somewhere online, and I don't travel, so I don't know, but apparently it's what they used to do. They used to cook him yams in the coals. Basically anything really simple, like I've made stew with bananas in it, anything you could make from Africa or something. Every leg was going to have different tastes, so yours might go, ugh, no. And with something completely different that doesn't sound like Legba, if he asks for it, give it to him. He's known for having very eclectic taste. Basically, if you're a kidult, you're gonna love him because if you can take him to the toy aisle and you can take him to the candy store, he is happy. That says some people will say, no, 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 that's an issue thing. This is Legba. He's grumpy old man. Give him his pipe and his coffee. Whatever he asks for, just give it to him. Loves dogs. I think we said the crossroads and the doorway thing. Keys. He loves riddles. He loves puzzles. He and Odin, in my experience, can get along quite well because they're not going to mess with each other's territory because they have better things to do. And they have very different functions in a way. In a way, the closest way to describe voodoo and spirits for us is, you know, Legba is acting as the warder, he's acting as the gatekeeper. In a way, he's acting as the high priest because he's carrying your damn full petition and he's carrying it to the appropriate spirit. If they don't show up in person, Legba is the one that will carry your petition. Now, he is known for always telling the truth, but telling it in a way that he knows you're not going to get right. He knows you're going to get confused. Though sometimes he's plain speaking. It's Legba, may the odds be ever in your favor. Usually with me, we've reached the point where, you know, if he tells me something, he speaks plainly. It's once he saw that I was repeatedly getting stuff wrong and even he got frustrated and it wasn't fun anymore, he's usually plain speaking. So, you know, he will speak plain, speak straight to you. You just have to tell him that you're having enough struggles as it is. He has whatever he wants. So, like, if he has canes or, you know, whatever he wants from you, like, I have some canes for him. He still has his stuff by the front door. Because everybody who works food on's a little scared of Legba, truth be told. He can be very sweet and very kind, but, you know, this is the Loa or spirit that in the old country he was seen as death. So, everybody's kind of nice to him. It's kind of like and people will argue until the cows come home. Some people say that Baron Samedi was always a separate spirit, and some people will say no, he was split up into Baron Samedi and he split up into Legba. Well, they're going to be two different spirits when you work with them, but either way, he used to be seen as a death deity, used to be seen as a folic and fire deity as well. Still very much loves the ladies. I think we covered that. So it's going to be a much shorter video, but, you know, he kind of wanted to see and test my integrity and see if, okay, you backslid, that's fine. He wasn't too upset, but he's like, let's see what you'll do. Let's see if you'll value the African part of your family as much as you value the European part. Because, you know, you guys know me, I can't keep my mouth shut. And he was like, look, you have a choice. Either you treat us with honor and respect and you do this series for us. This is the only thing he's asking of me. He's not asking if it becomes a Voodoo channel. He's fine with it being Loki's channel. He's like, but you either do this and you show us respect, or, you know, it. And it sounds unfair to us because we're used to dealing with gods that will wait a while, but not all God's way to well. If you deal with Hades or you deal with Apollo, they don't have the longest time span. You have a set amount of time to do something, and if you're not getting on board, they're done with you. Kind of like the same thing with Legba. He's been helping me. He knows I'm struggling to put everything back together. But at the same time, he does have a time frame. He's like, okay, this is borderline disrespectful. I know you're struggling, sweetheart. I love you, but you gotta get with the program. Either you make these videos or we're gone. And if Papa Legba chooses to slam shut the door, you could have every Mambo Ugan in existence working against him, and it's not going to work. Not even God, as wonderful as God is going to override Legba. If Legba slams that door shut, Legba is a final law and authority. Nobody is opening that door, including God. So it was kind of like a thing. He was like, are you with us, or are you going to be, running away and doing this safe stuff? So I owed him a video. And generally he has been very rewarding to work with in that regard. He will push you beyond your comfort zone. So kind of like a Odin thing of pushing you beyond your comfort zone. And I told you guys the first time the story of how, at the time I met them, my father's going through cancer treatment, my health's breaking down because, I'm trying to do, rituals and everything on my own because I've never had a coven. And Legba took pity on me. As he's told me before, he takes pity on dumb animals. He took pity on me and he took over. And it was not easy because at the time I was getting a lot of misinformation fed to me by people writing books that had no business to be writing books. And so any Mambo or Hugon I met was ready to kill me. And I'm sure there's still people out there that would, love to have words with me. But Legba is the one that helped me navigate that, and I am grateful to him. And he's the one that helped me navigate into the place of look. Just because you're not being called to a house doesn't mean you're worthless. Not everyone ends up being called to a house. Not everybody ends up being called to a circle or being called to, a Hoff. I'm not sure if I said that or not. You guys know the stroke. The brain don't always work too well. But he's the god of that too. He usually is depicted as older, so the older you get, the more sympathy and tenderness he kind of has towards you. His needs are very, very simple. The humbler, the better. This is not the Loa that you're going to impress with gold or jewels or fine things. The humbler, the better. A few peanuts, some toast, some coffee, whatever your Legba likes. If he likes candy and sweets, that's fine. You're not gonna give him diabetes. He's a spirit. He's gonna be fine. Coffee. We are having iced tea tonight because he likes the tea. I have this tea from I don't know where we're going into this, but I have this tea from Ireland, and I cold brewed it last night, and he's liking that just fine. So whatever he can give. If you can just give tap water and crackers, that's fine. If you don't even have that to give, if you're in that dire straits, he will work with you. Remember, this is a Loa that has worked with, people from everyone from the poorest of the poor to, rich kings and queens. So he's very well versed and he can help you kind of get that savvy of mixing with different people. He's very adaptable. So if one person is telling you no, he likes this, and another person saying no, he likes that, they're not lying and they're not making stuff up, hopefully. But he's very adaptable. He will take what he can get. If whatever he can get, that's fine. There are a lot of myths out there, but I think you guys know enough to know that if you take 3 pennies and you take them to the crossroads or a railroad track and you leave them there, Papa Legba ain't giving you $1,000,000. He is also not giving you $1,000,000 if you FedEx somebody some money. That's just is not happening. If you want to become, work in humanitarian efforts, he will love you forever for that. If you want to spend your Bing points, like if you're getting Bing points or whatever kind of points you're getting, like a Cozier or something, Brambois would love you for that too. So, if you're doing good, they don't care. Our life can be our offering to the Loa because I freaked out when I had to go for my reading. And, he was very sympathetic. He was very kind. And the Mambo said, our life can be our offering. The Loa usually often do pick people that aren't in, the very best circumstances. I don't like this saying, but there's a saying that the poor serve the Loa, the rich have them as mistresses. I kind of don't like that saying, but it kind of holds true. The Loa will walk with you, even if you don't have much, even if you have nothing, they will walk with you. They're not going to abandon you if you lose everything. So it's not a thing of, we have that very toxic mentality sometimes in paganism of it's for the healthy and the strong and the affluent. No, it's kind of like the total opposite. They will walk with you in whatever circumstances. Certainly Legba will. Good all around healer as well. Like I think I told you the story about, the healing with the walking. And overall he's really good to work with, but he will hold you to your word, and he is kind of like the gatekeeper. He's the one that if you're not straight with the law, he will come over and he will tell you this is going on or that is going on. And if the law is trying to get your attention and you're just deaf and dumb to it because you don't know that law and you don't know their signs, he will be the one to, come over and facilitate an arrangement. Now, that said, there are some people that think that the Loa do not even know of your existence if you don't meet them inside of a house. So you have to be aware of that being out there. And there are some people that feel that if you don't go for a special ceremony and get the Loa kind of planted into your head, for lack of a better description, you're not going to be able to work with the Loa any either. But I'm going to tell you, if Papa Legba is showing up, deal with Papa Legba respectfully and kindly, and you may find you can work together. You may find Budon in whatever capacity you can practice is good for you. You may find you want to try to incorporate some things into your practice, but do it respectfully. Don't just go and say, "Oh, Legba looks cool," and grab him. That is, that is not going to work. Nobody in their right mind would just grab Legba and try to take him off somewhere. You cannot make any Voodoo Loa do anything against their will. And I know they sell kits and they sell Voodoo in a box. I've seen people that sell boxes they claim that they trap the Voodoo spirits in. Oh my lord. Holy Lord Jesus, if you trap Legba in a box, and you can't, but if you trapped him in a box, I would not want to be the fool that got that box and opened it. I would not want to be there. It would be like an atomic bomb, a magic one off in your house. No, I would not want to be there. I'm getting a sense of pride. So, he is very kind to work with, and he is very nice. He can be very sharp-tongued. He can have tests for you. Sometimes his tests will seem unfair. I was going through a very hard time financially, and I was at a bus stop, but it was very close to the crossroads, and I found a purse underneath the bushes. And I guess whoever stole it ditched it, right? There was a wallet in there, and I thought, well, I guess they threw the wallet out empty too, but I thought I'll look and see if I can turn it in. It was full of money, and it was quite a bit of money, and I could have used that money, but I was like, your sister's so unfair, so I took it to the library and turned it in. When I took it to the library and turned it in, the person that knew the person whose wallet it was up there looking to see if they knew anything, so it was definitely a Legba test. I don't know that anything happened after that, but it was definitely one of those tests. I think we made the bus on time, so there you go. But he oversees travel and everything else. But he loves his people. He does. If he starts working with you, he's worthy to work with. And you don't have to worry. They're not as bad and scary as some people make them sound. He's not going to ruin your life. Your life won't be, worth nothing if you work with a Voodoo and Loa and then you find out that you truly can't work together for whatever reason, but they are persistent. And if he decides your family, you've got Papa Legba in your life forever. So, and it's a good thing, it's a blessing, but you will have Papa Legba in your life forever, whether you want him there or not. And if he can embarrass you, he will. Especially if he hasn't talked to you in a while, he will say things that'll just make you want to dig a hole and crawl into it and bury yourself alive. He's got a sharp tongue, but I love him. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.